Are you there, my friend? Hello? Are you there? Are you there? Okay, I will hang up on you if you don't talk. Are you there? We have Isa trying to call. Let us see what Isa want to say. Yes, Isa, you are trying to call me?
Hello?
Yes.
Are you online? Are you live now?
Yeah, I thought you called me. I don't know. You called me and I'm not online. Yes, I am online. We are talking about chapter 5, verse number 44 in the Quran, where Allah, he says that he trusted the Jews and the rabbis to protect the Torah. Why Allah, he said that he trusted them to protect the Torah if they cannot protect?
You're asking why did Allah ask them to protect it if they can't protect it?
Yeah, why Allah he said that he gave the Torah to Moses, but he entrusted the rabbis to protect the Torah.
I don't see a problem.
Well, when I say a trust, what explain to me what trust mean? If I say I trust you, I give you $1 million and I trust you not to take it, what does that mean?
That you have confidence that I won't take it?
I trust you. Trust is a covenant only. A covenant is, you know, an agreement, but a trust, it's mean I put my trust on you. He put a trust, you know. He thought
he ordered them to he ordered them to preserve it.
He ordered them to preserve it. Thank you very much. But it says here the word trust. So he ordered them to preserve it, and he wanted them to preserve it, and in the same time he trusted them to preserve it. First of all, where Allah he ordered the Jews to preserve it? How this happened? Did Allah spoke to the Jews or only he spoke to Moses?
They know about it because it's in their book.
I don't understand. Did Allah spoke to the Jews or the rabbis, or he spoke only to Moses?
Allah only communicates through messengers and prophets.
All right, so Allah did not speak to the Jews. That's wonderful. So Allah did not even talk to the Jews, and the Jews did not say, hey, we accept. And so, and Allah, he made a decision that he will trust the rabbi on protecting his book. Why Allah he made such a promise to protect, to entrust the Jews if the Jews are not trustworthy?
Them not being trustworthy, that's their fault.
No, that's not.
But they have a responsibility.
That's not the problem, because this is the book of Allah. This is Allah book. When Allah he trusts me to protect his book, and then his book is lost, then this is his fault because he trusts the wrong person. If I give you the money, if I give you the money, listen. If I give you a money and I say to you, I want you please to give this money to someone you trust, and then you say, okay, I'm going to trust my friend, his name is Ahmad, and I will give him the money. I came to you after 2 months and you said to me, well, what I can do? Ahmad was a thief, he took the money. I will say to you, how you trust him then? So how Allah he trust the thieves?
Yeah, like I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. You're trying to say that Allah thought that they were trustworthy, then he found out that they were not.
Obviously, this is what it says here.
I mean,
it says he entrusted
your way
them.
of thinking is very,
as long the word there is entrusted,
them,
okay.
It's their responsibility.
Yeah, but a trust means that I am confident that you are trustworthy. This is what a trust means. You don't give your trust. You don't give your trust for somebody is maybe. The word of trust have to do with being trustworthy. If I say to you,
He did not
if I say to
I
you, do you trust?
them.
Okay, if I say you, do you trust Allah? What does that mean? Explain to me. You trust Allah. What does that mean?
That I know that he's going to fulfill his promise. Of course.
You are sure? Do you know, or you are sure he will not betray you?
I am sure he would not betray me.
See, here we go.
And that's
so
my
the
point.
word, so the word trust, so the word trust.
Them.
It says that he entrusted them. It says that he trusted them. He entrusted them to protection of the book. So he is sure. This is what you said to me. I am sure when I say trust, I am sure he will not betray me. So Allah, he entrusted the Jews on protection of his book. He gave them a special mission, and he trusted them only in that mission, nothing else. He entrusted them to protect the book. And yet the Muslims, they say to us that the book of Allah was corrupt. That's mean Allah trust was a hocus.
No, he said I gave them a trust. It's a big difference. I gave them a trust, and I trust.
Where it says where it says he gave them a trust? I mean, my friend, where is the word? Where is the word gave them a trust? What does that mean? Even if I give you a trust, it's mean I gave you a trust. If Allah says to me, be decent, Allah, he say what word is going to be. If Allah is God, if hold on, if I am a bad person and Allah say, Christian Prince, from now on you will be decent, can I go against the will of Allah, or I will be decent? I will be decent. So if you are saying to me he gave them a trust, that's funny. Allah, he entrusted them. Istuhfidhu. So Allah, he entrusted them in the protection of the book. Who? Only the rabbis, not all the Jews. The rabbis and the doctors of the law. So Allah, he entrusted them, but the Jews, they were not trustworthy. So Allah, he made the wrong decision. Therefore Allah cannot be God. And let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, how Allah, he say he entrusted the Jews if he never spoke to the Jews?
What's the difference between trust? What's the difference between trust and entrust?
Trust and what? I don't hear you. Your voice is cutting.
There's a big difference.
What is the difference between what? Trust and what?
Trust and entrust. There are different words with different meanings.
Okay, here we go. Entrusted, my friend. First of all, I'm reading in Arabic. I don't read in English. This is your Muslim translation. But however, when we say entrusted, what entrusted mean? What entrusted mean? What entrusted mean? What does that mean? We can go to Google right now and we can search.
You gave someone a trust.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, you gave.
Past tense. Hold on.
Entrust.
Okay. It says there, this is the dictionary. Okay.
You're not going to find that trust and entrust.
Assign the responsibility of doing something to someone. I have been entrusted with the task of getting him safety back. This is giving you an example. So it's about put something into someone, care or protection. So in Allah, if Allah he put. Hmm? What?
Thank you very much.
I don't hear you, Isa. Your voice is cutting.
Thank you very much. That's what I was saying. There's a difference between trust and entrust.
What do you mean? You proceed people to entrust their saving to you, which means if I put my money in the bank, I entrust the bank to save my money. Is that correct? The people who work in the bank, they are hired to do what? To protect my money. So I put my money in the bank because I trust them, not because they are not trustworthy. Do you take your money? Do you take your money to someone you do not know, except in the bank? In the bank, you know, because there's a protection. So you go and you have no worry. You put your money there and you go home to sleep. Why? Because you entrusted them to do that. For there is somebody is watching. There's government. There's etc. They cannot say we did not take your money. So Allah, he entrusted the Jews, and entrust here is about trusting the Jews to do what? He trusted the Jews to do protection of what? Of his book. Here we have actually two questions. Why Allah don't want to protect the book himself, and why he depend in a bunch of rabbis who they can be sinners men to protect the book. Go ahead. Are you there?
Why are you questioning Allah about what He wants
Why
to do?
not? Because this is funny.
If
Because
he
this is
wants to-
my friend.
if he
Why I'm
wants to
questioning? This is funny. You see how the Muslim
Yeah, I'm here.
when we put them in
If
the
he
corner,
wants
they
to
say,
protect
"Why
them,
you
he
are
can
questioning,
protect
guys? Did you hear the answer?
He gave them
Why
a
you are
protection.
questioning?
Are you-
Why I cannot question? I mean, this is silly. This is silly because if Allah He gave the job to protect the book to the Jews, and the Jews are not good to protect the book, it's mean He is a part of the conspiracy to deceive us. That's mean He is the devil because He gave the book to protect it by the wrong one. So it is His fault, not my fault. We have the other guy trying to call. Hold on. Hello.
Hello, CP.
Yes, my friend. Go ahead. Finally, you call me. You know, you keep saying you want to talk to me. Okay, here we go. What do you want to say?
Yeah, but I understand your point from the angle of being entrusted, which is what is in the Quran.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, I do believe that, yeah, God actually entrusted them.
Right.
But when you are speaking, you speak from two angles. If you are speaking from God's perspective, He is all-knowing and He decides as in when He wants to entrust something. That doesn't mean the human beings are not fallible.
But what does that mean?
So human beings, although He has entrusted us, because I believe that you read the scriptures, if you go into the scriptures, it says that my spirit will never strive with men again. So if He actually says that His spirit will never strive with men again, and later on He comes back and say that He's entrusting us with something, then He obviously know that we are going to actually mess up. So although the Torah has been inscribed at, yeah, God entrusted it, yeah, He entrusted it, but I think people carried it through and then they messed it up.
Okay, but hold on. When Allah He gave His own words job of protection the book, this is not about He is trusting them and they are not decent. All of us, we are sinners. All human being is a sinners, right? Okay. So when you put your trust in the sinner, a sinner mean corrupt. I can, you know, me and you. I'm not mean you. Let's say talk about me. Me, I can be tempted by money, by women, by anything. Correct? Okay. So when you are God and you trust me to protect your book, what kind of a decision Allah is making to trust a corrupt human being who is already kicked from heaven to protect His book? If this man is good enough, if this man is a good enough, he should be in heaven. Should not be in earth. So we are in earth because we are not trustworthy. We are kicked out of heaven because we are not trustworthy. So how you can trust the one who should not trust to protect the book, which is the book of God?
I think you are right from what you're saying, but when we say God trust, He entrusts something, that means He's entrusting in His word, because He cannot trust human beings, because we know we are falling human beings.
So why He trusted the human being?
He trusts His word.
Why He did?
He trusts His word, and that word has been given to man through entrustment. So they entrust the men to pass on what have been entrusted to them. But God can only trust in His word. He cannot trust in human beings.
Okay, but He trusts them in something very extremely important, the message of God. So why Allah He's saying, why Allah He wrote the Torah by His hand to Moses if the Jews are not going to keep it? Don't He knew that they will not keep it? So why He give it to them? Don't He knew the future that they are not trustworthy, they will corrupt the Torah? So when you give them the job and you know that they will not keep the book, that's mean you are part of the conspiracy. You are giving them a hand actually to deceive people. Because if I am giving the job, you are the one who hire me. You see, I do not hire myself. God Himself hire me. Then people, they trust me because God hire me, because I am presenting God, and God Himself, He said, okay, you Christian Prince, you will be the one who protect my book. Go ahead. And then the Muslim, they will speak to me, or the believers will speak to me in authority, because God, He said to me, I am in trust. So now everybody will trust me in what I say to them. Then I corrupt the book. Then people, they are victims of my corruption. That means Allah is the part of this conspiracy, and He is the one who corrupt the people, because He is the one who gave His trust to the wrong one who is a bad person. So He will use the word of God so he can deceive others. That's mean Allah is Satan.
CP, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not saying, I don't want to actually go away from the topic, but I want to create this analogy for you to see if what you are saying is actually kind of right. Let's say God is God, and he is God, and he knows what and how he wants to orchestrate things. Let's say, for instance, he actually sent Jesus Christ to come and die, let's quote in quote, die, because Muslims don't actually believe in dying. Let's say he sent Jesus Christ to come and die for human beings.
Okay.
But didn't he know that when he died for human beings, still people are going to reject him?
So
yeah, so he knows that even though Jesus Christ, in quote unquote, died, there are some people who claims to be Christians who just have forsaken God. They are sinning everyhow and then how they want, but yet God have actually sacrificed Jesus Christ. So the same way God actually entrusted his son to be crucified for Christians, the same way he entrusted his word to the people that are supposed to guide it. And that doesn't mean that people cannot mess up with the whole concept. Yeah, we understand that they are human beings, and just as Jesus Christ called 12 disciples, and we could only hear about 4 or 5 disciples writing books about what Jesus Christ did, it means that where are the rest? We didn't hear about them.
No, we hear about
so
them.
the same way we can also
friend, this is not true. We hear about them and they are there, because the 4 they wrote about the 12 too, and they wrote about the Messiah in the same time. You see, here you have a problem. You just said that 4 disciples of Jesus, they wrote 4 Bible, right?
I'm not saying 4 disciples. I said all the disciples didn't actually read the Bible. Some of them we didn't even hear of them. We didn't hear about Nathaniel.
Okay, hold on.
We didn't hear about Philemon, did we?
You're a prophet, he said. خُذُوا الْقُرْآنَ عَنْ أَرْبَعَةٍ. Take the Quran from 4. Where are the 4 in the Quran?
You said what?
I'm asking you.
Hello?
Allah prophet, he said, take the Quran from 4. Where are the Quran of those 4?
Yeah, obviously take the Quran from the 4. Obviously, he's not in this context. We are not speaking about the Injil. I hope you know that.
Hold on. You see, well, I'm talking about the same logic you are talking to me. You said, okay, where is the rest? Here we go. Muhammad, he had many companions, but Muhammad, he chose only 4 out of all. So God, he chose whatever he wished to write. But here, now we have a big problem with you. You are the one who mentioned this. Muhammad, he said, take the Quran from 4, but the Quran you have today is not taken from those 4.
That is what I'm saying. That is the point that I was actually trying to make. That although God himself actually chooses things that he wants to do, when people comes into contact with what God wants to do, human beings actually, that is why we've got free will.
My friend,
that is all we all got.
Okay,
if you haven't got free will, then there's no way anybody can corrupt God's message.
My friend, did you just say that we have a free will?
Oh yeah, I do believe we have a free will.
Who said that to you?
I believe that we have a free will.
No. Is that Islamic or this is your belief?
Islamic wise, we are not meant to have free will, but I do believe we have
so
free
you
will.
are a Muslim, but you don't believe in Muhammad teaching.
It's not that I don't believe in Muhammad teaching. I believe some of the hadith have been tempered.
Some of the hadith, they are here. We go to the game of the hadith. Okay, if Islam is based on the hadith and in the Quran, and you are saying to me that the hadith is a corrupt, that means Islam is corrupt, because Islam is not based on the Quran. Okay, can you prove to me? Can you prove to me that Islam is based only on the Quran?
CP, don't say I say that the Quran is actually corrupted. That is not what I'm actually saying, because anywhere, if I can make an example to you where in the Bible, where Jesus Christ was supposed to feed a certain number of people, and then that same number was actually triple that number. So that doesn't mean it's a corruption. It means that people have actually tampered with the number due to writing.
My friend, hold on. You see, you are mixing things up. First of all, what you said is not true. Secondly, You are mixing between what we just said about the hadith. You are the one who said to me that you, which mean you believe in a free will, but Muhammad, he believed that there's no free will. So now we have a problem. Are you a follower of Muhammad or you are a follower of someone else?
No, I don't believe the fact that we following Allah, we have to follow Muhammad, because Muhammad is actually giving us some instructions from Allah.
Okay, so do you have to follow Muhammad and Allah, or only Allah?
We have to follow Allah. Muhammad is just a messenger who is delivering from God.
So, how we don't have to follow Muhammad. Okay, no problem, my friend. You know, by the way, I like to talk to you. At least you don't shout and you don't use a bad language. I like that. You are a respectful man. You are welcome always to call me, and you sound a smart man. Read with me, please. The Quran says, وَأَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ. Obey Allah and obey the messenger.
Yeah.
All right. All over the Quran. أطيعوا Allah. You see the verses I'm showing you on the screen? All those verses saying you have to obey Allah and you have to obey the Rasul. All right.
Yeah.
Now, we never send a messenger except to be obeyed. وَمَنْ يَطِعَ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهَ. Chapter 4, verse number 80. Read with me, please. Whoever obey the messenger, he obey Allah. Your prophet, he is God. Because you do not need to obey Allah first, you need to obey the messenger first. Whoever obey Muhammad, he obey Allah. Now, if you Muslims, you claim that Muhammad is a human being and he commits sin, and even the Quran confirmed that Muhammad is a sinner, how such a command given from Allah that to obey someone he might commit sin? And by obeying him, you are obeying Allah.
Yeah. I think some of us have actually got things a bit screwed, because it's like, if we are to obey Muhammad, it's not that we are obeying Muhammad as a human being. We are obeying the message that has been passed through him.
My friend, that's not true. That's not true. Obey Muhammad. If what meant here, obey the Quran, then obey the Quran, whatever Quran says. He didn't say that. He says obey the man, his name is Muhammad, not obey Allah's words. So when he say obey the messenger, you're talking about him as a man. Whatever he say, you obey him. So please don't play with the games. I respect you, and you know I'm assuming that you are being decent with me. So it says it clearly, obey the messenger. Whoever obey the messenger, who obey Allah. So by obeying Muhammad, otherwise we can just say in the whole Quran, obey Allah, and that's it, correct? But it doesn't say that. It says whoever obey Muhammad, he obey Allah. So even Muhammad here, he put himself first before Allah, because if Allah is the one who's talking here, there's no way he will put Muhammad first and he will put him second. So whoever obey Muhammad, he obey Allah, and that means Muhammad became your God. Let us make it simple. If I obey Muhammad, I obey Allah. But if I obey Allah, I do not obey Muhammad. Because here the verse saying that clearly. If I obey Allah, I don't obey Muhammad. But if I obey Muhammad, I obey Allah.
CP, I think I understand what you're saying, but if you are to take the analogy on a different aspect to you, see that analogy you are making doesn't hold. Let's say, for instance, if I go to school and then I have a headmaster, and under the headmaster we have got teachers, and then the headmaster have given the instruction to the teachers, and the teachers are carrying the instruction to us. I obey the teacher through, as well as obeying the headmaster. Yeah,
but you don't put yourself first. You see, when I say whoever obey Muhammad, no, my friend. Okay, let us switch it. Let us switch it. By obeying Muhammad, I obey Allah. But by obeying Allah, I'm not obeying Muhammad. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so here now, what is became more important to obey is obeying Muhammad. And by obeying Muhammad, necessarily you are obeying Allah. But if you obey Allah, necessarily you are not obeying Muhammad. So who is your God? Muhammad.
I wouldn't say Muhammad is God, because
this is what it says, my friend. This is what it says, because here we go. Let me ask you: does Muhammad made bad decisions? Did he make bad decisions?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do believe.
Okay, so if Muhammad make bad decisions, and even the Quran confirmed that he is a sinner big time. So how we obey Muhammad? And you are saying to me, obey Muhammad like obey the message of Muhammad, correct? But as you see,
Yeah.
you know, the Quran says whatever Muhammad he says to you, you take. فخذوه, you know, whatever he gave to you, take it. You don't even question it. So whatever Muhammad he says to you, take it. Whatever he forbid you, you forbid it. So Muhammad now became a person who is God. Whatever he says to you, you take it. Whatever he refuse, you refuse it. So he is the one who forbid, he is the one who confirmed, he is the one who allowed. And now he saying, which is very dangerous, whoever of you want to be obedience to me, you have to obey obedience to Muhammad. And you agreed with me that be obedience to Allah, it will not be obedience to Muhammad. And this is why I believe that Muslims are mushrikeen, because Muhammad, he put his name and he associate the name of him with the name of Allah, even in the Shahada. And this, and the top of that, he associate his name in the obedience. In the top of that, he associate the name of Allah with the knowledge. Allah and his prophet knows best. So now what we have a two-head God. One his name is Muhammad, one his name is Allah, and even Muhammad name mean that Muhammad is God, because it's being the praised one. He changed his name from Qasim to the praised one. So now we have the praised one and we have Allah. We have to obey the praised one, but not necessarily by obeying him we are obeying Allah. But the Quran says that if you obey Muhammad, you are obeying Allah. But if you obey Allah, you are not obeying Muhammad necessarily.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you are saying, but I think when I don't think that he meant that if you obey me is the same as obeying Allah. But if you obey the words that I speak to you, then you obey Allah. Because Muhammad himself claims that he's a sinner. So why would we actually have to equate him to Allah?
Let me ask you. Did the Quran in chapter 59 verse number 7 says, whatever the prophet he says to you, you take it. Whatever he forbid you, you forbid it. Does it say that or no? Or I'm making things up. Okay. So
yeah, it does say that.
Okay, whatever Muhammad he says to you, you take it. So now whatever Muhammad says to you, why the Quran does not say whatever I say to you? Who is God here? Why Muhammad suddenly became a man who decide what to take, what not to take? Because if you know the Muslim, they keep saying to us, how you worship a man? Okay, well here we go. You are giving the decision of God to the hand of a man who is a person who can make errors, he can make mistakes. All of us, we do make mistakes, we are a human, right? So how in such a verse it says whatever the prophet he give you, you take, and whatever he forbid you, you forbid. So now what happened, we transformed the power of Allah to the hand of Muhammad. Muhammad, he got like what they call it, I don't know, like a note of attorney, what they call it in English, I'm not sure. Like when somebody he signed my right to you, you know what I mean, my friend?
Yeah,
I sign my right to you, and by signing that right, you can sell my house, you can sell my car, correct? Okay, so now what Allah saying, that whatever Allah messenger he gave you, you take. Whatever he, you know, he denied to you, you deny. So, and fear Allah from strict punishment, which means if you don't accept what Muhammad just said to you, that he forbid and he accept and he forbid and he allowed and don't allowed, if you don't do that, then Allah messenger or Allah will punish you for doing that. So Muhammad now became obviously equal to God, and he became more important from God, because it's not necessarily for me to obey Allah no more, but it's necessarily for me to obey Muhammad. Whatever he says to me is what going to happen. It is not what Allah says to me. As an example, there's many things in the Quran. Allah he says, as example, the muta. Then Muslim they say that Muhammad he forbid the muta, but there's no verse forbidding the muta. So what the Muslim they do? They accept what Muhammad said over what Allah said. So who is more important? Muhammad. Muhammad is the one now. He was assigned to create law, to forbid and not to forbid, to allow and not to allow. Allah he say something, who care? Muhammad say the opposite. We follow Muhammad, we don't follow Allah. Are you there, my friend?
Yeah,
that's bad, right? Very bad. What we will do now?
I don't know, because it's like with me, I think that we are actually I don't believe we are worshiping Muhammad, because he
You see,
cannot be
I'm not talking
worshipped.
about
He's
you,
just
my
a human
friend. My
being.
friend, you see, you sound a nice guy. I respect you. I'm not. It's not talking about me and you. We are not in the story here. We are talking
Yeah.
about scriptures who they are teaching something very wrong. Because if you Muslim, you keep saying that we believe in Allah, one God, and only Muhammad is his slave, but then we check the reference, we find that Muhammad is the God and Allah is his slave. Because as you see, Allah here is exists just to serve Muhammad. Muhammad, he assigned the power of Allah to his hand. So whatever he want, he make. Whatever he forbid, he forbid. Whatever he accept, he accept. And Allah is just a name to use. So obviously, Allah is not the God of Muhammad. It is Muhammad who is the God of Allah. Allah is just a name he used to gain his power over you. He used his name to make you, okay, you have to obey me. Here we go. Allah says that. How I can convince you that you have to take from me by making a verse saying, okay, Allah, he says, well, all right, you know, Muhammad, and look, do you notice here how this verse is about what? Do you know what this verse is about? Muhammad, he made this verse specifically because of money. Because of money. So Muhammad, he wanted to take the best of the money from the booty, from the spoil. So they attack the neighbors, they steal their money, and now the Muslims are fighting over it. So Muhammad, he want to take the best of the booty. So he need authority. So what I do, here we go, I make a verse, says Allah says to me, whatever I say to you, you do. Whatever I say to you not to do, you don't do. So now the money, the religion, the God, the marriage, the sex, the inheritance, everything is in the hand of Muhammad. I say, you obey. Allah says so, it's not important. I say so. Allah say do mut'ah. I say don't do mut'ah now. Which one we follow? We follow Muhammad. So here we have a clear evidence that Muhammad, he assigned himself to be God on earth, using the name of a God he never met, he never spoke to, just to deceive us, to make us believe that he is just a servant of God.
So are you from what you're saying, are you trying to say that I think I have some kind of questions that I do ask myself about the Quran, because if you actually read, you find out that if Uthman was the one that actually compiled the Quranic verses together, then probably it might be that someone also might have also tempered with the Hadith as well as the Quran.
Okay, my friend, but we are not even using the Hadith now. We are using the Quran. So now the Quran, if you are saying to me you suspect the Quran to be a corrupt book, that means the whole religion of Islam is a joke. Because if the Quran is corrupt, and then the Quran says, Inna alayna jam'uhu wa Qur'anahu. Who is the one making a promise here? Allah, he says, I promise you that I am the one is going to collect the Quran, and I am the one who will recite the Quran. Okay. And then we found that the one who correct the Quran is Uthman, as you said, and this is have nothing to do with the Quran of Muhammad, as you are now trying to say to me. So, Inna alayna jam'uhu wa Qur'anahu. It is on us to collect the Quran, and it is on us to recite the Quran. But Muhammad, he never recite, Allah never recite the Quran, and Allah never collect the Quran, because Allah never spoke to Muhammad anyway. So this is a false verse, and this is why we find the problem here. Actually, even the Muslims, they don't have the book of Uthman. They say the Quran of Uthman. What is the Quran of Uthman? There is no such a thing. They have recitation according to the claimed Uthman book. They are not sure. So now we have here a God who promised that he is the one who will collect the Quran, and then we find that the one who collect the Quran, it was an idea of Uthman, and Allah was not there. Otherwise, why he's making a promise? It is for us to collect it and to recite it.
Okay, so back to the question again. So you mean that God didn't actually kind of protected his book like he said?
Obviously he did not. I mean, you see, when if I ask you now, you as a Muslim, you believe that there is a punishment for stoning to death, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, where we can find this verse?
I have to actually find for you.
Oh, I found it. I found it. You know,
Okay.
I wish I can open my camera for you. I have a neighbor here. He have a goat. The hadith says, I'm not making fun of you, seriously. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. The Quran says, the hadith says, Aisha, she said, and this is a Sahih hadith, that while we were busy with the Prophet death, let me read for you. I don't know if you can see my screen. You can see it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. Aisha, she said, the verse of stoning and of a breastfeeding for adult 10. I mean, this is one of the weirdest things Muhammad he came with, teaching Muslims that Muslim women, she have to give her boobs 10 times to a strange man, and that supposedly will stop him from thinking about her in a sexual way. As I know, men, they will go crazy for that, and they will not stop thinking sexually. So this is one of the madness of Muhammad. And then he says, so the verse of stoning and breastfeeding for an adult 10 times was revealed, and the paper was under my pillow. When the Messenger of Allah died, we were preoccupied with his death. A tame sheep came and ate it. And now we are looking for this goat.
Understand.
Until now, if you go to the Saudi Arabia website, government website, they have a big reward for the one who can find this goat, because here we go, the verse is gone.
That's what I'm saying, that the hadith sometimes is a bit funny, because it's like in this verse, for instance, we don't have it in the Quran. It's only in the hadith that you see those recitations.
My friend, hold on. If the hadith is funny, then you have to tell me where you got the stoning to death from. I mean, you are practicing what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. CP, you understand that the Quran as in words that was actually given to Muhammad through recitation, then he has to actually explain it through the hadith. So some of the things that hadith actually explain, they are not in the Quran.
Yeah, but this is, it says a verse.
And some of the things that you want to understand in the Quran, you go into the hadith.
My friend, no problem.
To understand. So let's say, for instance, you've got this explanation.
Hold, my friend.
You've got this narration from the hadith.
Hold your horses. Hold your horses. It says here the verse of stoning. The verse. This is not explanation. The verse of stoning.
Yeah.
It was a verse of stoning, and the verses of a breastfeeding for adult 10 times was revealed. So it is a verse in the Quran. Where we can find this verse? It's gone.
Yeah, but CP, I understand what you're saying, because when it says that when the words were revealed, remember all these kind of verses was actually revealed to Muhammad, peace upon him. But it was later on that it was got compiled, because if you read the history very well, you see that even when they were at war at Yamama, they said some of the people that actually memorized the Quran were getting killed.
But this is not the question,
so
my friend.
It could be possible that a lot of things in the Quran didn't get captured in the whole book.
Let us say that the verse about stoning to death, eaten by the goat. What about the rest of the Muslims? The goat ate the Muslims too? If this is a verse, Allah, he revealed to Muhammad.
No. Actually,
if the verse revealed to Muhammad, and Muhammad,
Aisha, right?
No problem. But
no one can.
Okay, so what is the verse of stoning to death? Give it to me. I want to hear it. Allah, he sent the verse to Muhammad. The goat ate the verse. The goat ate the verse, did not eat the Muslims. So where is the Muslims who will recite for us the verses of a breastfeeding for adult 10 times and the goat, the verse about stoning to death? I got it, that the goat ate the verse, no problem. But what about the Muslims? What about Aisha? What about Abu Bakr? What about Umar? What about the rest of them? The goat ate. The goat did not eat Umar. The goat did not eat Abu Bakr. The goat did not eat the Muslims. The goat ate a paper. Where is the verse? As long they knew that there's a verse, that means they heard it. Aisha saying that, that's mean everybody, and the Muslim, they were practicing that. When you practice a punishment, capital punishment like stoning to death, which is very harmful, very, very, very scary, and then you say to me, I cannot even remember the verse. That's scary because so you're practicing what? Based on what? Each time.
Yeah, CP, I hope you understand that when Uthman was actually compiling the Quran, obviously, let's say this verse that Aisha claimed that the goat has actually chewed those verses. We understand that, okay, if he chewed and Uthman was compiling, and at that time they didn't actually put the verse in the Quran, and it has already been compiled, then you understand that the verse that didn't get into the Quran find themselves in the Hadith.
No, my friend, it says here that it was in a paper under my pillow. That is a Quran. You see, there's verses.
No.
There's verses already written in a paper.
No. CV. The paper we know that the Quran, when the verses was getting reviewed, some of them were written on bones, some of them were written on leather, so this paper is not a Quran. This is a normal paper that the actual verse was written on. So if it got chewed, that doesn't mean the goat chewed the whole Quran.
So this is under the pillow of Muhammad, and this is not a Quran. Muhammad, guys, he have a verses written under his pillow in his bed, but this is not Quran. This was a newspaper. It's under the pillow of Muhammad, not the pillow of Abu Bakr. If what is in the room of Muhammad of Quran is not a Quran, then Quran can be found where? In the bedroom of Abu Bakr? This is Muhammad. This is the pillow of Muhammad. This is the bed of Muhammad. This is Aisha, his wife. When she say my pillow, she said she is saying my bed and the bed of the Prophet. She don't speak in different bed. So my pillow is the bed, is the pillow of Muhammad. Under his bed there is Quran, and the goat get in. She ate the verses. Same time, my friend.
CP, I want you to explain to your audience to know that when we are saying the Quran, we don't mean the whole compiled book. It's a verse. It's a verse that have been chewed.
No problem, my friend. This is not the question. I'm not talking about the book. There's no book. Actually, the Quran never was a book, and will never be a book, and does not exist until now. And we can prove it easy. You see, when you go and try to find the Quran, you will find there's a collection of stories that have nothing to do with each other. If I try to find now the story of Abraham, I will find the story of Abraham in more than 230 verses in the Quran, and they are scattered all over. I mean, what kind of a book this book is? How I can learn about Abraham? 230 verse, and there's no connection. So there's no Quran, there's no book, there's nothing. Muhammad, he was saying things, and let me show you who is the one who made the Quran. Do you know who is the one who made the Quran? Do you know that the Quran written by a Christian? Do you know that?
No. I've read that history before, where an information was actually sorted from, I think, is it Khadija's? I think something about, I've read that, but I don't think it was written by a Christian.
Okay, let's see. Read with me, please. The Prophet used to copy the people of the scriptures in matters in which there was no order from Allah. Sahih al-Bukhari.
The Prophet used to copy.
How you do that? If the Christians are corrupt, if the Christians are sinners, if the Christians are bad, if the Christian, their book is gone, and then I copy from them what is in their book. I mean, what kind of a scam this scam is? I say to you that, okay, should we follow the book of the Christian? You say no. Okay, so how we can copy from the Christians what I don't have in my book? Why Allah don't give him what is in the book of the Christian, the correct one? Allah have time to send Muhammad a verse about his testicles. Allah have time to send Muhammad a verse about his penis. A guy, he accused him that his penis is not functioning. Allah right away he sent him a verse. Allah have time to send him a verse about any woman she want to give herself, take off her pant to the Prophet. Allah have time to send him a verse says obey the Prophet, obey him whatever he says to you, especially when it's come to sex and money. But Allah have no time to give him a verses which in a matter which he cannot find an answer for it. So what he do? He copy from the Christians.
That's a bit confusing, because apparently Muhammad couldn't read and write, is it?
I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. This is the story about he cannot read and write. I believe this is a joke. This is not true. But this is not the question now. Obviously, in front of us. Muhammad, he have no idea what's happening. He have to find an answer, and what he do, he is copying from the Christians. If you keep saying to the people that the Christians are the worst creature, the Christians, they lost the covenant with God, the Christians, etc., blah blah blah, and then we find that everything Muhammad he have, which is not in the Quran, he got it and he copied from the Christian books.
And Abu Bakr was the one that narrated that.
Well, this is narrated by Ibn Abbas, and this is Sahih Bukhari, Hadith number 5917. As you see, I'm showing the reference in the screen.
The Prophet copied. I think my problem is the copying, because it's like
Copy paste.
to my knowledge he couldn't read and write.
No, he can.
So-
You know, this is a lie. You know, the statement that that he do not know how to write, how to read. You know, the Muslims are disconnected with their you know.
Is there have you got a proof that he could read and write?
Sure, this is very easy. This is very easy. The Quran is proving that to us. You see, did you ask yourself why the Quran called the Christian and the Jews people of the book? Because simply we have a book.
Yeah,
And
because they were the ones that had the Torah and the Injil, isn't it?
yes, because you don't have a book. You never have a book. Not before, not after. Secondly, the Quran, when it speak about the ummi, the word ummi, that's what the Muslims they use to speak about illiterate. The word ummi is about not knowing the book of God. It's not about not knowing how to read, how to write, how to read. So وَمِنْهُمْ ummiyun. Okay, what ummiyun mean? Read with me. And there are among them illiterate who know not the book. So who are they, the illiterate? Is the one who do not know the book. The Quran says that clear, you know, in many verses, not only one. But the Muslims are copy-paste nation. I cannot find one Muslim. You know, I'm surprised actually you are a Muslim, because you sound like a smart person. I mean, how a smart person like you will stay in Islam in a second? Where they got that Muhammad cannot read and write? Just because it says Ummi, Muhammad is trying to copy the Jews. The Jews, they call the one who do not know the book Ummiyin, which means from the nation, Gentiles. Gomai. This is what Ummi mean. Ummi is anyone is not from the nation of Israel, because he's worshiping the wrong God. So Muhammad here is copying the Jews, saying that he is from the Ummiyin, who are not from the Jews, who are not from the people of the scriptures. For the whole world worship the wrong God, and those are the only one, they are called the people of the book, because they are the only one worshiping the true God. As simple as that. This has nothing to do with writing or reading. Do you think all the Christian knows how to write, how to read? It's impossible, especially at that time. So all of them, they are called people of the book, and anyone who do not know have a book, it's called illiterate. And this is all over the Quran. Muslims, they have no idea what the Quran is talking about. Chapter 3, verse number 20. Read with me. So if they dispute with thee, say, I have surrendered, not submitted, my whole self to Allah and those who follow me. Say to the people of the book and those who they are unlearned. This is the same word, ummiyin, unlearned. So you see the Quran divide the people to two kinds of people. People who they are learned and people who they are unlearned, illiterate. The one is unlearned is the one who they are not from the people of the book. So the one who is learned is the one is learned about God. It's not about writing or reading. What do you think? Muhammad in his deathbed, he said to his followers, bring me papers to our write for you a book which you will not go misguided after me.
Is it in the Hadith?
Yes.
Or in the Quran?
Yes. This is a Sahih Hadith. Sahih al-Bukhari. Read with me. Muhammad, he said, Ibn Abbas said, when the Messenger of Allah was in his deathbed, there were some men in the house. He said, come near, I will write for you something after which you will not go astray. Some of them said, i.e. the companions, said Allah Messenger is seriously ill, and you have the Holy Quran, which means here very weird. Why Muhammad saying I will write something for you if he gave them the Quran already? This is crazy. Allah books is sufficient for us. So the people in the house differed, which means they are fighting, and start disputing. Some of them said, give him writing material so he might write for you something after you which will not go astray. Okay, how you want to give him writing material if he cannot write? And why he's asking for writing material? All what he need to say is just to recite. So obviously here they did not say to him, come on, you cannot write. What do you mean to give you writing material? They did not say to him, okay, tell us what you want to say, we will write for you. They said give him writing material. And here you notice that Muhammad obviously is not even sure of what his message, because how you say I will write for you a book now before you die which you will not go astray, so what the Quran for? And this is what the Muslim they say to him. So if you will write for us a book now which you will not go astray, so what the Quran is for? And this is a Sahih book. This is Sahih Bukhari, hadith number 4432. So my friend, you sound a smart person, and you don't fit to be in this garbage. Sorry to say so. I mean, you are smarter than this. Muhammad is the God. Muhammad, let me ask you a question. When Muhammad he said in the Quran that any Muslim woman she can give herself to the Prophet so he can F her, what that have to do with Islam? What that will do to God?
Yeah, I think that part also, I think maybe someone actually kind of maybe cooked up that story, because
you see,
a prophet of God can never stand in the public or maybe anything and say such things like that. Like,
no, my friend, here
there are certain things in the hadith I find it
this is not
difficult to
hadith.
believe.
This is Quran. This is Quran. You know, Muhammad he made the Quran says any believing woman she can give herself to the Prophet. What that will do to Islam? What does have to do with the message of a prophet of God who sent down to earth to save us? Why he need a verse from his God says any woman she want to sleep with the Prophet, she is welcome. I mean, the man is not even single. If Muhammad is like Christian Prince, he is single, he need a wife. Okay, God is trying to help him. Maybe a Christian woman she will marry him because maybe he's ugly. But now Muhammad, who have 13 wives, he have hundreds of concubines for sex, and yet he make a verses saying any woman she want to give herself to the Prophet so he can F her. What does have to do with God? Muhammad again taking advantage of him being a God on earth, fabricating verses saying any women want to sleep with me, well, come over. I mean, what does have to do with God? What that will benefit God? Muhammad he slept with women, what for? Is he single? No. Is he out of women? No, he have tons of them. So when I make a verse, it's about my sexuality, it's about my benefit, it's about my money, it's about my pocket, it's about me, and then I became God. I put my name next to Allah in the Shahada. I put my name next to Allah in the obedience. Actually, I put my name before Allah name in the obedience. And then I put my name next to Allah in the if knowing. You see, if somebody right now call me and I say to him, what do you know about this? And then he said to me, Christian Prince and Jesus knows best. I mean, that is a big insulting to me and insult to my Lord, because why you compare me to my knowledge to the knowledge of God? This is an insult. I should reject right that away. I would say to him, shut up, don't say that. I'm no one. What do you mean? What do you mean you and Jesus know better? You don't say that. So when Muhammad he says, when Muhammad always he talk, and the Muslims they say to him, Allah and his messengers knows best. Why Muhammad did not reject such a teaching, saying to them, shame on you, don't say that? What do you mean Allah and apostle knows best? You associate the knowledge of God with the knowledge of a man? Muhammad actually he like it. Each time he says, do you know where? Do you know how? The Muslim they say Allah and his apostle knows best, and Muhammad never complained. And look what he's saying. I mean, even what he's saying is stupid. Once I was with the Prophet and in the mosque at the time of the sunset, I asked Abu Dhar. Abu Dhar is one of the companions of Muhammad, who was very well known in Islam, do you know where the sun set? He replied, I replied, the narrator, I replied, Allah and his apostle knows best. He said, which means Muhammad, it goes and prostrate itself under the knee underneath Allah's throne. And that is Allah's statement that the sun runs into a fixed course. So Muhammad and the Quran teach that the sun every day goes to a course and sit under the throne of Allah. Isn't it this is alone enough to prove to us that Islam is a false religion? You as a smart person, you want to convince me that you are not convinced yet that this is a cult? Be honest with yourself.
I think one thing that I'm finding it difficult is if we come to an agreement that Muhammad, at the time that he existed, the Quran hasn't been compiled, and it was after that he died that the Quran just got compiled, then could that be a possibility that people actually try to make some stories just to meet up?
It doesn't matter. That's mean that whatever you are following now is a mirage. It's not exist, because here we go. You are now saying to me the Quran obviously is corrupt because I showed you many references, and now the Hadith is corrupt. So you are following a corrupt religion. How you can find who is the real Muhammad then? Where we are going to find the real Muhammad, the one you want to follow? We cannot. The Muslim, they keep saying to us, your book is corrupt, your book corrupt, and then we find that they are the one who have no book, and they are the one who have no prophet, and they are the one who have no God, and they have no idea even where the name Allah coming from. They have no idea what the Quran is about. They don't have no idea. They don't even have manuscript of the Quran. They keep accusing others of corruption when this religion is the religion of corruption. And there's no question needed. For me, I cannot judge Islam by my imagination. I have to judge Islam by what we receive and what the Muslims they say. This is our religion. What is our religion? Okay, here we go, Quran and Hadith. And look, each time I saw a Muslim a Hadith, he says to me, I accept only from authentic resource. Okay, we show them authentic. Here we go. This is Sahih Bukhari. You say, okay, Al-Bukhari is a human, as if Muhammad is not a human. They keep running forward, trying to escape.
I've heard about those debates, but because hadith is hadith, whether it's weak or strong, they are still in the same hadith. So
my friend, what about the Quran? What about the Quran? I showed you the Quran is a shish kebab. Okay, what about the Quran says that the women, she have a sperm coming from her ribs? I mean, have you ever heard of such a crazy stupid thing?
Scientifically, it's not accurate, but I think that's why I said that